Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Lewis here from hostsorter.com, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a pretty comprehensive review of BlueHost as a web hosting provider. So I've seen some pretty so-so reviews out there of people that are so-called using the service, but I don't think they actually are. So in this review, I'm actually going to go into my dashboard, show you what kind of behind the curtains of BlueHost. I'll be showing you my own personal website that's hosted on BlueHost, and I'll also be doing a price breakdown, a rundown of uptime, some speeds, and some even more stuff as well. And I'll also put a link down below in the description, and this is a discounted link, so you'll get about half price from this link if you choose to sign up with BlueHost. So I'll get stuck straight into the review and just give you my overview opinion of BlueHost. And once I've done that, I'll jump over to my computer and I'll do a screen record and kind of walk you through BlueHost and what you can expect to see if you sign up with them. So in general, my overview kind of opinion of BlueHost is 2 thumbs up. I've been using them for close to 3 years now, and I have several websites hosted on their shared web hosting plan, and I've been extremely impressed by their service. So at the moment, I receive a few thousand visitors per day that are distributed across the several websites I have on this plan. And for a shared web hosting plan, it does extremely well and it can handle this amount of traffic with ease from my own experience. And some other things that I've really liked about BlueHost is their really simple user interface. So I've come from some previous web hosting providers that I won't name, and kind of their user interface stuck in the early 2000s. They're very clunky, hard to navigate, and just they're very time consuming to learn. So as a beginner, having a really simple and user-friendly interface makes the transition from signing up to having a website to only about 5 minutes. It really is that fast when you make a website with BlueHost. That's a WordPress website, that is, but it really is simple. And as you'll see later on in the video, I'll walk you through my dashboard and you can see how easy it is to navigate and just find what you're after, instead of having to actually Google how to get to this spot, on the dashboard. And when it comes to speed and uptime with BlueHost, I've also been really impressed with these numbers, considering it is a shared web hosting plan. For speeds, my websites load well below 1 second, which is really good, and that's kind of the standard for websites in 2019. And moving ahead, that is the standard as well. And as far as uptime is concerned, BlueHost actually guarantees an uptime of 99.99%, which is really good when you calculate that over a year. It's only maybe 30 minutes or an hour of actual downtime when your website isn't operating. So that's actually a really good number. So that's just my overview opinion of BlueHost. So I'll actually jump over to my computer now and go more in depth about each of these kind of categories of BlueHost, so you can really get a good understanding of this provider and whether or not it's a good provider for your new website. Let's get stuck in. Okay guys, here I am in my BlueHost dashboard, and straight away you can just see how simple and clean and easy it is to just navigate, really. So I can just scroll down and you can see the helpful links on the right hand side, the overview of the website, and you see on the left hand side the menu bar. And this is really easy to navigate between the other sites if you have multiple sites on your BlueHost account. Marketplace, this is for looking for themes and other options. So I'll just quickly go to my sites just so you can get a view of what it's like. So these are the sites that I currently have on my BlueHost account. And then if you want to create a site, pretty much all you have to do is just go on the create site button. You want to put in a title and a tag, and then choose the domain name that you've purchased, or if you sign up with BlueHost, they actually give you a free one. So it really is that simple. And from my own experience, it only really takes about 5 minutes to purchase the domain name and download WordPress, and then have a website live and running that you can actually share with people as well. So it really is super quick and simple. when you choose BlueHost pretty much. So if I go down, I can go to Marketplace, and these are just some kind of extra add-ons that BlueHost offers that you can choose, but I personally don't use these, as there are thousands of plugins and themes on WordPress that you can actually download for free as well. And I can go down to Email and Office. So this is a custom email option if you choose this when you sign up with BlueHost. But personally, I actually use Google G Suite, which is $5 a month, and that gives you a custom email address, and you can actually use the Gmail interface, which I absolutely love. And so, for example, you can have a custom email address like contact@hostsorter.com, and this is a really easy way to have a professional looking email, and it kind of avoids using the clunky email services that web host providers traditionally use. So if you're looking to do a custom email address, then I would recommend Google G Suite, and that system only takes around 10 minutes to set up as well. And then if I go down to domains, I can see the list of domains that I have connected to my BlueHost account. It's all there. And then if I go to the Advanced tab, then I can access the cPanel of BlueHost. So if you really want to ever migrate files into BlueHost, or you want to go into more of the nitty-gritty details of the actual web hosting, then this is where you can find all that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do in this review is actually show you my own personal BlueHost website, and I'm just going to run a kind of speed test on it, and I'm going to just do a walkthrough of the website just so you can get an overview of how an actual BlueHost website performs in the real world. So I'll go over to my website, which is hostsorter.com, and this is a website that I made on WordPress using BlueHost. And this is a premium theme from StudioPress. I use all of their themes for my websites, and I highly, highly recommend them. I'll put a link down below in the description as well if you're interested in using them. And as you can see, it's just a really clean and simple theme. And I'll actually copy and paste my domain name. And then I'll go over to Google Page Speed Test. So this is a free online tool where you can plug in any domain name extension, and it gives you an overview speed test of the website. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in, and then I'm just going to go ahead and analyze. So this will just take a couple of seconds, and then it will give us a speed test performance for both mobile and desktop. So I'll just wait a little bit longer, should nearly be done. So right here for the mobile version of this website, I have a score of 71, which, as you can see here, falls within the average kind of speed limits of websites on the internet. And pretty much it is an average speed, but it is still a very good speed. And a lot of these reviews I see of BlueHost are kind of speed tests done on blank websites with no content, no theme, no posts or anything. So they get these overcompensated, really, really fast speeds for their tests. But when it comes to real world websites with content and themes and photos and videos, they actually do run a little bit slower. Excuse me. So this is a more realistic expectation of what you can actually expect to see when you choose BlueHost. So if I actually just go over to the desktop version, this is running at 85, which is pretty much close to the scale of 90 to 100. So it's still really, really good. It's on the higher end of the spectrum. So it's still a pretty reputable speed to have for a website. And this is a pretty graphic intensive website, as you can see from the front page. So if it was a more simple post with just text and a couple of photos, this would actually run a bit faster. Okay, so now the speed test is done. Now I'll actually open up an incognito tab on Google Chrome. So essentially what this does is that it gives a fresh view of the website. So since I visit this website being at my own, it kind of caches each page individually. So it serves up a faster version of the page. So I'll actually use incognito on Google, and this will kind of simulate a brand new user coming to the website. So these are some speeds that you'll expect to see when visiting this website. So I'm in incognito. So I'll type in the website again. And here you have the website loading for a brand new time on this website address. So as you can see, it still does load really, really fast. So now I'll go ahead and open one of these posts. And again, this post will open for the first time on this browser. So this is what you'll expect to see as far as speeds are concerned for a website hosted on BlueHost. So I'll go ahead and click this. And again, you pretty much have instant load times under a second. And this is a page that hasn't been loaded on this browser as it is in incognito. So it really is fast load times. All of the images are loaded. So it really, really is fast. And I'm using nothing fancy with this web host. All I'm using is a standard caching plugin, which I do highly recommend installing if you ever make a WordPress website. So that's the speed and user interface of BlueHost out of the way. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and look at the pricing structures of BlueHost and see what you can expect if you sign up with them. So I'll open up BlueHost here, and if you click on the link down below in the description, it'll open you up to this page, and this will automatically apply the discount if you choose to use BlueHost. So right off the bat, you can see the starting price is $2.95 per month. However, this is for their beginner plan, and this price is for when you sign up for a 36-month period. So you can pretty much lock in those discounts for that amount of time. However, one thing to note with pretty much all web hosting providers is that they offer you really, really good discounts when you first sign up. However, when that time runs out, the price rolls over to the original price that they stated. So right here we have the original price of $7.99. So that will be the original price that it reverts back to once that period is done. So it is still a really, really good option to choose the 36-month period, as you're pretty much locking in those savings for that amount of time. So that's personally what I did for my plan. However, I did the more plan that's up an option that allows you to host unlimited websites. So I'll go ahead and just walk you through this process, and I can just show you a few tips and tricks on how you can save some money when using BlueHost. So I'll go ahead and click Get Started. And right here you have the 3 plans that BlueHost offers. And on the left-hand side we have the basic plan, which starts at $2.95 when signing up for the 36-month period. And you have the renewal price of $7.99. So that's always something to be aware of. And right here with the basic plan, we have 1 website and 50 gigabytes of space and an unmetered bandwidth as well. And you also get a free domain name and a free SSL certificate. So that's really, really good value if you're looking to get started. So just as an example, I'll select this plan and I'll walk you through. You get a free domain name, so you can just go ahead, I'll put in this domain name as an example, and then you can select the domain suffix as well. So I always recommend choosing .com, as that's the standard for websites online. So I'll leave that as is, and then I'll go ahead and click Next. And as I already have an account with BlueHost, I won't actually go through this, but right here in the package information, you have the pricing options. So right here we have the basic plan for 36 months for $2.95, and if you drop down to the 24-month or the 12-month plan, it actually increases in value to $4.95 for the 12-month plan and $3.95 for the 24-month plan as well. So if you plan on having a website for a long amount of time, whether that's a blog, a business website, or pretty much any website, you want to make it for the long term. You want it to last a long time. So if you plan on doing that, then choosing the longer option allows you to have those savings and lock them in place as well. And also another kind of hack that I've found when I signed up for BlueHost. So say for example you choose this and you actually pretend to exit the tab, a pop-up will actually come up and it may actually offer you an extra 15 or 20% on top of this discount. So it's worth giving that a shot if you choose to use BlueHost, as that just gives you an extra discount on top. And also with the package extras, I don't actually recommend getting the privacy protection, the site lock, or the code guard, as these are some extras that I actually haven't found to be that useful. So you know that's pretty much the pricing for BlueHost. They are still a really affordable option for a shared web hosting provider, and they're pretty much really competitive with the other big players like SiteGround and HostGator as well. So as far as pricing is concerned for BlueHost, I've found them to be really affordable, especially for those that are just starting out with their websites. And before I move on, I'll just say that BlueHost also includes a free domain name in their package and a free SSL certificate. So just on the domain name, they do offer 1 year for free, and then after that, they do charge you, I believe it's $19 per year for a renewable. So that's a pretty standard pricing as far as domain names are concerned. And they do also offer you a free SSL certificate. So that's actually the padlock in front of a domain name or the HTTPS. So this is pretty much a standard to have for any new websites, as it shows the visitor that there's an encrypted connection between you and the server. So that's a must-have. And actually some web hosts charge between $50 and $150 just for that SSL certificate alone. So that's a really good bonus that BlueHost chucks in as well. And also, I'll put a link down below in the description for the discount if you do decide to use BlueHost. So let's move on to the other aspects of this BlueHost review. So the next thing I'll cover in this review is actually the customer support of BlueHost. So I've been with BlueHost for pretty much close to 3 years now, and I've only ever had to call them once. And they do have a toll-free number in the United States, but for those out of the United States, you'll actually have to use maybe Skype, or you can use their online ticketing system, which is also really fast and easy to use. But the one time I did have to call BlueHost was that one of my posts on a website actually went viral. It was shared on Reddit, and I pretty much went from 30 visitors a day to 60,000 visitors within 4 hours. So as you can tell, BlueHost and my website wasn't prepared for that amount of traffic. So BlueHost actually, halted my website as I was using up way too much server resources. So I pretty much just gave them a call, and they quickly gave me more server resources just to get through the day and that initial spike of traffic. And then pretty much after that, everything was back to normal. But from calling them up to getting the issue resolved was only about 15 to 20 minutes. And it was a really easy process. And the people that I did call, they were really knowledgeable, and they were very empathetic to pretty much my website getting all this traffic and it pretty much shutting down the resources. While that is a very unique case, excuse me, I did find the BlueHost customer support to be really good. So that's my own personal experience, but I have heard from other people that use BlueHost that they have also been really helpful for them as well. So the next thing I'll cover in this BlueHost review is actually the bandwidth and the storage as well. So for this, I'll actually go back to BlueHost, as this will give you a better idea of what you can expect when you sign up for their plans. So I'll just go to their website, I'll click Get Started. And as I covered briefly before, for their basic plan, they do include 50 gigabytes of website space. However, if you do upgrade to their Plus plan, which is $5.45 when signing up for, again, the 36-month period, with a renewal price of $10.99, you actually go from one website to an unlimited amount of websites. So if you plan on making a network of sites, or if you have a few ideas you're looking to create, then I really recommend upgrading to the Plus plan, as you can pretty much experiment with different types of websites and different niches and categories, and you're not limited to the amount of websites you can make. And also, instead of having 50 gigabytes of storage, you actually have the unmetered amount of storage and bandwidth as well. So you aren't really limited to the amount of traffic or the bandwidth that you use. So that really is good value if you plan on making a website or websites that might get a large amount of traffic. However, if you're just making a small business website and you only need to have one website, then yeah, having the basic plan is a really good option, because there's no point paying for the extra services that you won't be using. But for myself personally, I have several websites hosted on the Plus package, which is the shared web hosting plan with BlueHost. And currently I get around 100 to 150,000 visitors per month, which is spread across all of these websites. And I'm actually really surprised that all of these websites are actually performing really well. They're still fast, and I've had no problems with server resources or anything like that. Alright guys, so that's my BlueHost review done. Again, I'll put a link down below in the description to the discounted link if you do decide to use BlueHost. And overall, they've been a great web host for me. However, if you're looking for another provider in the industry, I've actually made a really helpful guide on the top web hosts, and I've also made a comparison chart. So if you want to check that out, you can simply search on Google web hosting comparison followed by hostsorter.com. And again, this will just cover 8 of the top web hosts in the industry, the specifications of each provider and what you can expect, and also discount codes for each one as well. So hopefully this video has helped you to better understand BlueHost as a web hosting provider. And if you have any questions about them whatsoever, feel free to drop a comment down below in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help you out. And as always, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.